Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning?
Woohoo!
Well, this afternoon. All right. I decided to do this topic because not only, not just for the class, I actually have been doing this for a while. My kids actually started me on it because every time they come and visit, they always wanted to do some crazy project like make pizza or just do something crazy. So I decided, let's make something that people don't normally make. So who likes ice cream?
Woohoo!
Everybody likes ice cream, right? Okay. Ice cream, if you can believe, has been around for a long time. If you think about it, it's like, where did ice cream come from? Okay, it's like, oh, who invented ice cream? And the first thing, if you say in your mind who invented ice cream, who would you say would be the first people? What country?
Egypt.
Antarctica.
Egypt, Antarctica. I would think France, because that's where a lot of the sweet stuff comes from, right? So I would think France. Unfortunately, guess what? It did. It started actually in China. Okay, yes, it started in China. Ice cream dates back to as far as 200 BC. Okay, when people in China mixed rice and milk together and they packed it with ice, it was a frozen dessert that they enjoyed. However, the Chinese, they weren't given really credit for inventing ice cream, okay? But they were given credit for making the first ice cream maker. The first ice cream machine, they were like pots, and they were filled with syrupy mixtures, which then were packed in a mixture of snow and salt. Okay, now everybody thinks about, wow, snow and salt. What is snow and salt? What does ice cream have to do with salt? Okay, but I'll explain that in a little bit. Now, other people, ice cream little confectionery indulgers included Alexander the Great, who enjoyed eating snow flavored with honey and berries. So actually, he would send people out and get snow, and he would flavor it snow, fruit and honey and stuff like that, and it was considered a treat for them. And also, Claudius Caesar of Rome was said to have sent people up to the mountains to collect snow, which would be flavored with juicy fruit, kind of like the first century's snow cone. Back then, ice cream was considered like a luxury. Okay, it was for it was considered a luxury which only the rich could indulge. Only the rich people could have it. So if you think about it, how did ice cream go from China to Rome and to how did it get here? Well, one of the earliest forerunners for the modern ice cream was a recipe brought back to Italy from China by Marco Polo. The recipe was known more as like a sherbet, like we know today. That's what it was consisting of. In 1533, it was thought that Catherine de Medici brought the dessert to France when she married King Henry II. Excuse me. Okay, in 1600s, King Charles I of England was said to have enjoyed ice cream so much that he paid a chef to keep the ice cream a secret. He wanted the recipe to be kept a secret and kept a secret from the public to believe, because he believed it was just solely for royals. That's what he thought, okay? Ice cream then was introduced to the public. One of the first places that served ice cream to the general public was in Europe, was Cafe Procope, I think it's pronounced, in France, which started serving in the late 17th century. It was made from a combination of milk, cream, butter, and eggs. In the 1800s, ice cream was mostly reserved for special occasions, as it would not be stored it couldn't be stored for a long time because back then they didn't have the freezers that were insulated to store the ice cream. So they only made it for special occasions, then they would use it and then make some more when they need it. This method was replaced in 1843. Oh, hold on, sorry. Ice cream at the time was made by using a pot freezer. Okay, what a pot freezer is pretty much you have a pot of ice. Okay, you have salt and ice in a pot, and what they do is they take the cream and they put it in a bowl, and they sit the bowl inside the pot and they just stir it. Okay, and what happens is the ice cools the pot, a metal pot cools it, and the ice cream will stick to the sides, and you kind of scrape it off. and it would form to be, get thickened. Okay, then after that, they ice cream. Just 1 second. Okay, the next thing, and that's when the cream was put in a bowl, and then the next thing they had was a churn bucket. Pretty much, they put ice and salt in a churn bucket, and there was a little cylinder in the middle. And what the cylinder did is you put the mixture in that, and then you churned it up. And what it did is it made the ice cream a lot smoother and creamier back then. Now, everybody's asking, like, what does salt have to do with it? Like, a lot of people thought back in the day that we mixed the salt and ice with the ice cream, but they actually did. What it was, the salt just kept the ice from melting quicker. So when you put the salt in and the ice, it just, froze longer than it would if you didn't use the salt. This method was replaced in 1843 by the hand, like I said, by the crank churn, which was patented by Nancy Johnson. The churn created smoother ice cream and faster than the pot freezer method. Okay, modern ice cream makers today, you can actually buy them in a store for like $45. There's all different kinds of them. There's kinds that you can add salt. There's kinds you don't have to add salt. The one I prefer is a Cuisinart. It's called the Cuisinart Ice 21. It has a fancy name, and what it is, it's a simple contraption. It's just a frozen bowl. Okay, you take a bowl, and it has a platform that you put it on. And you take the bowl and you put it in the freezer for about like an hour, or you can put it in there for like a couple of days or whatever. Then once you make your ice cream, you put the bowl on top of it, pour it in, turn it on, and it just does it by itself. Just that simple. And it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to do it. Sorry guys, All right, let's get to the business now, okay? Let's start. Oh yeah, thanks. Here you go. Got me up here sweating like crazy, Okay, now let's talk about making this ice cream. Okay, I chose this recipe because it's very simple. I mean, if you think about it, everybody's like, "Oh man, ice cream." You ever look on the pack, look at it, buy some ice cream in the store, and then you look at the back and you see all this glucose and blah 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 blah. Then at the end, you messy cream. You're like, that's a lot of stuff to go on some ice cream. So you're thinking to yourself, like, how did they get that creamy, delight, smooth, beautiful taste, from all these crazy ingredients, right? And you're like, man, and that's what I thought. My daughter came to me, she said, Daddy, she's like, I want to make some ice cream. And I was like, okay. So we went to all these stores, to find this ice cream maker and stuff like that. So we find this ice cream maker. She goes, well, do you know how to make it? I was like, no. But luckily, the ice cream maker came with a recipe book. The ice cream came with a recipe book, and I was like, wow, that's really simple. And, so I got the ingredients, and we'll talk about the ingredients here. Very simple, okay? I didn't bring the salt because it's only a pinch that you added to the recipe, okay? But it's simple, pure vanilla extract, okay? Now, this is optional, vanilla bean, okay? I picked vanilla bean. I love the flavor of vanilla bean, but you do not have to add it. It is an option. This is very expensive. Gio would tell you that these are very expensive. 3 of these are $8, okay? Just for 3 vanilla beans. Yeah, but the flavor is unbelievable. Then we have some milk, just whole milk, okay? Then we have heavy cream, and we have sugar. Now, how simple is that? Now, the only thing you have to do here is you take your mixture, you take a cup of whole milk, put it in a pot. What I like to do, I put it in a pot. You do not have to heat it up and simmer it. I do that because I like how the mixture goes. Goes together a little better than if you're sitting there stirring and trying to mix it all together. But I take a saucepan, I put it in a saucepan, I put one cup of milk, then I take and put 2 cups of heavy cream in there. Then I take 3/4 of sugar, a pinch of salt, and a tablespoon of vanilla extract, and 1 vanilla bean that you scrape out, okay? And you put it in there. You take your whisk, you stir it up till it gets nice and smooth, right? After you do that, you take it, you put it in a bowl, you sit it in the refrigerator for about an hour to 2 hours to let it cool down and let it freeze. Then what you do is you start your ice cream maker. It starts going and turning. You pour it in the top, okay? And then it just turns and turns for about 20 minutes and gets ice cream, okay? And I brought you guys a sample. I did make it last night, so I brought you a sample. Now, do not think this is not Cold Stone. I didn't go to Cold Stone and buy this. This is what I actually made, so I wanted you guys to taste it and give me your opinion and see how it tastes. If it tastes like real ice cream, if you can tell the difference. Other than that, as you know, we talked about ice cream and how it has been around for many years and how it's changed throughout the centuries from the frozen ice, rice and cream, to the flavored ice cones, to the smooth, creamy delight that it is known as today. Thank you.